Welcome, dear friends. Life is not smoother outer or inner. In general, particularly in Kali Yuga, we have to accept it and then trying to make it smoother by our regular, known, truthful practices. So, learning from the elders, doing what makes it simpler or smoother. That thing, when we go on doing, it becomes smoother. So, too, with so many distractions also, we complicate our life. When the distractions are reduced, then we can make our life more easier. And also through various tapasyas, etc., when we strengthen our abilities, powers, then also the life can be smooth. But while doing all that, one thing which always we have to keep in mind is our own past deeds, their influence which we cannot avoid in the present. So, if our past deeds direct us in the present to be a struggling personality, not able to do any outer vyavahara or sadhana, how much our struggle we cannot. At that time only, we have to hold on to the feet of the Lord to take us across that particular period of difficulty. That is why the need of devotion also. So, not at all smooth it is. Outer world or life itself is not smooth. Then how tough or difficult it will be, the inner spiritual journey. If we don't do the journey inner, it is okay. Then our mind, it swims fancies, it goads us, it guides us, it pushes us, we do. It's okay. But when you come to spiritual sadhana of any karma yoga, see the attitude of the hard work and without expecting result. Not an easy thing. Bhakti yoga, variety of upasanas, shravanam, kirtanam, relentlessly we have to do to the extent of surrendering ourselves to the Lord. Tough it is. Ashtanga yoga, it is only we are studying, but where do we stand while studying the yoga darshanam from last few months? Even in iota also we have not started. It is not an easy thing. When these three themselves are so tough, what to talk about the Vedanta Vicharana, wherein even to come out of Aham Dehosmi itself is so many lives of struggle. When will I come away from other koshas and discover my essential self? So, when we know this, it can lead to our disappointment. But without getting into the disappointment, we should bring more inspiration, bring more commitment, and start doing little more. So, this information is given for preparing our minds to take the tough challenges initiatives. That's it. So, today also let us do our bit of studying our Shastras, surrendering to the feet of the Lord, Guru, Shruti Mata, to deeply empower us with wisdom, with conviction, with all the required abilities so that this Adhyatmika prayanam of all of us happens smoothly. Let us start. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahma Dibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha Rushibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bhijaje Bhavaroginam गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। ओम परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। श्रीवेदव्यासवैशम्पायने अग्निवल्क्याद्य शङ्करादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्यस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं पुराणेतिहासोक्तभगवत् भागवतदर्शनानुग्रहप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः अद्वैतज्ञानस्य समस्तसाधनानां पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं तत्कृतसमस्तसाधकभक्तानाम् आयुरारोग्यक्षेमस्थैर्य श्रद्धाभक्त्यादि सत्सम्पदा साधना शक्तीनाम् अवाप्तिद्वारा विघ्नशत्रु निर्मूलनद्वारा दिग्विजयप्राप्त्यर्थं श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः पारायणम् अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणं we have done our one round yesterday. Second round of पारायणं we start. ओम अथ श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद पारायणम्। ओम प्रथमा शिक्षावल्ली शांति मंत्रः। ओम शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। शिक्षां व्याख्यास्यामः वर्णस्वरः मात्राबलं सामसन्तानः इत्युक्तः शिक्षाध्यायः। सहनौ यशः सहनौ ब्रह्मवर्चसम् अथा तत्संहिताया उपनिषदं व्याख्यास्यामः। पञ्चस्वधिकरणेषु अधिलोकमधिज्योतिषमधिविद्यमधिप्रजमध्यात्मम् तामः संहिता इत्याचक्षते। अथाधिलोकं पृथिवीपूर्वरूपं द्यौरुत्तररूपम् आकाशः सन्धिः वायुः सन्धानम् इत्यधिलोकम् अथाधिज्योतिषम् अग्निः पूर्वरूपम् आदित्य उत्तररूपम् आपः सन्धिः वैद्युतः सन्धानम् इत्यधिज्योतिषम् अथाधिविद्यम् आचार्यः पूर्वरूपम् अन्तेवास्युत्तररूपम् विद्यासन्धिः प्रवचनगं सन्धानम् इत्यधिविद्यम् अथाधिप्रजम् माता पूर्वरूपम् पितोत्तररूपम् प्रजासन्धिः प्रजननगं सन्धानम् इत्यधिप्रजम् अथाध्यात्मम् अधराहनुः पूर्वरूपम् उत्तराहनुरुत्तररूपम् वाक्सन्धिः जिह्वासन्धानम् इत्यध्यात्मम् इति मामः संहिताः। य एवमेतामः संहिता व्याख्याता वेद सन्धीयते प्रजया पशुभिः ब्रह्मवर्चसेन ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन स्वर्गेण लोकेन। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ ॐ यस्मात् जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ षष्ठोऽनुभागः। ॐ असन्नेव स भवति असद्ब्रह्मेति वेद चेत् अस्ति ब्रह्मेति चेद्वेद सन्तमेनं ततो विदुरिते तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य अथातोऽनुप्रश्नाः उत विद्वानमं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चन गच्छति आहो विद्वानमं लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चित् समश्नुताहु शोकामयत बहुस्यां प्रजायेति सतवोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा इदं सर्वमसृजत यदिदं किञ्च तत्सृष्ट्वा तदेवानुप्राविशत् तदनुप्रविश्य सच्चत्यच्चाभवतु निरुक्तं च निरुक्तं च निलयनं च निलयनं च विज्ञानं च विज्ञानं च सत्यं चानृतं च सत्यमभवत् यदिदं किञ्च तत्सत्यमित्याचक्षते तदप्येष श्लोको भवति. Salutations to Parabrahma, to Shruti Mata, to all our Brahma Vidya Acharyas, Rishi Muni Guru Devatas, to Vedavyasa, to Vaisambhayana, to Yajnavalkya, to our Bhagavan Shri Adi Shankara. In this life, everything is possible. Because of that only, we have made two things possible now. One, the extreme Bhautikavadam, two, totally forgetting the Lord. With efforts, if these two things can be done, the Bhautikavadam as well as forgetting the Lord, with the same efforts, we can enter into Adhyatmikavadam and instead of forgetting the Lord, remember Him and become one with Him. But the thing is, the knowledge, the information, the process is required for us to know. And all that is what it is given in our Shastra scriptures. The subject being very, very vistara or expanded, we need to apply ourselves in so many deep ways and detailed ways in understanding. And not impossible it is. With faith, when we try, we can slowly, slowly add to our knowledge and add to our practices and add to experience. So, therefore, as much the non existing world is experienced by our efforts, so too the existing pure Paramatma also can be experienced. But nothing is easier, and depending on the distance, the goal we have from us, and also our present positions and abilities, the time taken and the efforts taken depend. So let us go on giving time, let us go on putting efforts. While listening itself, we must very clearly understand key if our loyalties or if our goals are bifurcated or distracted, then our achieving the goal cannot be substantial goal cannot be proper. Therefore, slowly, slowly, exclusiveness in our life should come. That I have only spiritual goal to reach. Then only all our energies, timings can be fully applied for this pursuit and required also. You see, it's not like the economy of home wherein we conserve the money for some particular work, like बच्चों को fees करना है, देना है. So those 2-3 months, for the sake of paying the fee, all other unwanted expenses are curtailed and money is saved. So too शादी करनी है तो 10 साल पहले से ही going on that collection of the money, इकट्ठा and the money is done. In spirituality, it is not only conservation of energy aspect that happens when we exclusively do spiritual sadhana and not enter into samsara. There's other problem that it creates all the unwanted, what do you say, impressions and vasanas and habits in the mind, which to remove again becomes so difficult. It is an added problem being worldly while wanting to be spiritual and grow spiritual. That is another problem. Everything is an added dust and kachra only to be removed. That is why exclusively those who have understood it, all those rishis and munis used to go to jungle and nothing else they were minding except Paramatma. They never took anything for granted. And such a pure hearted they, so too in those divine Vedic periods themselves at that time itself, if they had to go that way away, and then only they could meditate and realize. And seeing them, we just laugh at them and we imagine that staying wherever we are, we can control the mind, make the chitta prasanna as we are studying nowadays in Yoga Darshanam, and then do our spiritual journey. It's all self deceit, self cheating. Then what to do? Should we leave the house in jungle? No, don't go. There's no jungle anywhere. Everything has become houses only. Wherever we are, restrict ourselves to the limited all the movements and all the other activities and increase the timings, quota and quantification of spiritual sadhana. That is what we have to achieve. What we have to achieve, having gone to the jungle, is was to be achieved at home also. Idea is what? With many things given value and importance to that one particular mind, and with the same mind wanting to get sadhana done is like have only one servant at home, but उसको खाना भी बनाना है, बर्तन साफ करनी है, घर साफ करनी है, देन उसको बाहर जाके वस्तु भी लाना है, कार को भी साफ करनी है, ड्राइविंग भी करना है. Now if you give him 10 jobs, he will run away only. It will be so tough to him. You should know. So too, our mind also, in the world also, so many pursuits. In spirituality also, so much struggle. He gets fed up. It gets so much disturbed and frustrated. It is obvious. Therefore, slowly, steadily, the unwanted things, what are they having recognized? If we can reduce them, withdraw from them to that extent, mind gets that energy. Mind is an innocent instrument. We have to sympathize with. We are overtaxing it with so many things. And if you don't tax it, mind rewards us, reciprocates by its energy and power and helps us in doing those minimum but very important things. The trick and that art we have to learn. Love your own mind and then protect it from uh, engaging it in so many unwanted channels by which it loses all its power, energy, concentration and all. ये हमको करना पड़ता है. जब दिमाग हमारा तेज चलकर इन बातों को समझकर accordingly we have to mold. And as one grows in age, the biggest problem of the diseases or the pains of the body and the fears of the death, ये तो कंटिन्यूसली वो नॉक करते ही रहते हैं, याद करते ही रहते हैं. With that set of thoughts in the mind, how can we sit and meditate Aham Brahmasmi, as it was told to Tara and all yesterday in Bhagavatam also? So we should know this thing. Okay? Exclusiveness we have to increase slowly, steadily. Not impossibilities, not easily possible also. Difficultly possible, but one can make. Because the first sentence, in this world, if we can try, we can achieve everything. But not in one life. Again, remember always, in this life, continued from the earlier, we are continuing our journey of some sadhana. By God's grace, and if we deserve for some of you or us, it can happen in life. This. If not, it will be carried forward to the next. Therefore, this life or next life or after 10, we should be mentally prepared for all and focus on what is in hand. At this moment, what is in our hand is trying to gather ourselves away from Bhautikavada, trying to inspire ourselves more in spirituality. In that also, knowing in clarity and detail all these four sadhanas of karma, bhakti, yoga, and jnanam, And among all those four, what is required for me at this level, knowing it and doing it more along with other sadhanas also. Anyway, finally, the moksha comes only through Brahma Vidya, Tattva Vidya. Therefore, the Brahma Vidya of Upanishadic study, we continue as long as it becomes clear to us. So, too, when we are in the world, little of Karma Yoga we do as our age permits. And the most essential, unavoidable thing we have to do is daily that quota of our Upasana, the Bhakti Yoga, that Lord, all powerful Lord, is very much there permeating the whole world. That's Saguna Sakara Bhagavan. When he is prayed to, when he is invoked, his infinite power definitely is sent to help us to sort out the outer issues, problems, to sort out inner obstacles for sadhana, and he empowers us in doing sadhana. So that upasana also everything every day has to be done exclusively with the sankalpa, seeking the help for spiritual unfoldment. स्पिरिचुअल अनफोल्डमेंट के ही ये तीन पार्ट है मेडिटेशन बिफोर दैट प्यूरिफिकेशन ऑफ अंतकरण बिफोर दैट सेटिंग राइट आवर आउटर व्यवहार क्या करना है कितना करना है कौन सा छोड़ना है ऑल दैट so these three the paramatma also helps and the fourth one of knowing exactly what drama is happening in us at the antakarana level called as the vrittis and thus slowly modifying them, purifying them, reducing them, and when we try to totally avoid them consciously, that also becomes an effective, useful spiritual unfoldment path that's called as yoga sadhana. So all the four little, depending on need, depending on temperament. Need wise, it is always Vedanta. But the situation, temperament, or at that time, where do we stand? उसके हिसाब से maybe karma yoga, maybe bhakti yoga is needed more. With karma yoga, when antakarana shuddhi happens, with bhakti yoga, when Bhagavad Krupa comes, with that quietness of the mind, we may directly enter into the Vedanta Vicharana. All the time in the contemplation of Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. And always the Buddhi is trying to recognize this Sarvavyapaga Satchidananda Brahma Vastu only. This is what a Pakka Vedantin always does. Open eyed meditation, closed eye meditation. He is always engaged in that. In his Brahmanveshana, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, alone is all the time engaged. So by Ishvara Krupa, it can happen and it will happen and it should happen. So with these words, we are now into the Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahmananda Valli second one, sixth Anuvakam. And how many things are given in this sixth Anuvakam, which are very, very important and crucial for the Vyavahara as well as for the Adhyatmika Sadhana. So in the Vyavahara, Asanneva Sabhavati, Asad Brahmeti, and all that we can apply. Yes. In Vyavahara, after knowing that Tatsrushtra Tadeva Anubravishat, we should know everything as divine, change our whole entire orientation and attitude of dealing with the world. See, व्यावहारिक मदद भी इससे मिलता है इस तरह का मदद look at everything as divine. Don't hate anything, don't get attached to anything. Everything is one Paramatma. Bring that change in the Antakarana's Avagahana understanding, start living that one. So, too, the most important, the inner spiritual help is what? Entire world is full of names and forms, and the world of names and forms are nothing but the Paramatma through them, Parabrahma through them. And without Paramatma, they can't exist. Without Paramatma, they can't exist. Without Paramatma, these names and forms cannot exist. They don't have independent existence. They don't have independent existence. That's it. Because of unwanted, too much value, importance given to them and their modification. All of that, that we are not able to see the substratum behind. That's called samsara. So to now by accepting them as divine by valuing it as Samarupa, not Vishamata, by avoiding with this the mind's juggleries of Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha, we can discover the substratum behind that Rupa Namatmaka Vishwa. That is what is our goal. And so many things are taught in it. And the best of all, that is what? Is the Panchakosha Viveka. In that, we are put into the Vijnana Guha and we are shown how the Paramatma has to be recognized. How he has to be recognized, where he has to be recognized, and as what he has to be recognized. Yesterday's our Adhyatma Ramayana also helps with the Guru's teachings when Tattvasi Mahavakya Chintana Vicharana is done, then in our own selves only, the Satyam Jnanam Anandakyam Atma Anubhuti happens, then that is called as Moksha. In Spashta Rupa, as Sri Ramji said, same thing is here also in this sixth Anuvaka. So, and each of these sentences sort out one or the other questions raised by Purvapakshi regarding the presence of Parabrahma Paramatma. So, finally, what point we have came yesterday to is the Upalabdhi Dwara for Paramatma, means for us to recognize Paramatma is Vijnanamaya Guha. Vijnanamaya is a kosha. That Vijnanamaya kosha, when it is Bahirmukha and trying to become Sukhi Anandi by depending on Anna Pranamana, then it is a binding kosha. Okay, same Vijnanamaya when is used to inquire, then it becomes Vijnanamaya Guha and the Upalabdhisthana for Paramatma. So in this Vijnanamaya is alone the Jnata, thereafter Karta. Then that Karta only becomes Bhokta. At that time, that is called as Anandamaya Kosha. Extroverted Anandamaya Kosha is Vijnanamaya Kosha. Introverted Vijnanamaya Kosha is Anandamaya. This is what the relation between them we should know. So, in the Guhayam, what a beautiful paragraph it is. Ki tad evam akashadi karanam karyam sruštva tad anupravishtam iva antah guhayam buddhau drashtru shrotru mantru vignatru iti evam visheshavat upalabhyate सह एव तस्य प्रवेशः तस्मात् अस्ति तत् कारणं ब्रह्म अतः अस्तित्वात् अस्ति इति एव उपलब्धव्यं ततो. See the clarity of the picture in these lines which we have seen thoroughly yesterday also, a day before also, and worthy of seeing every day. What is said here? Evam, in this way. This one para is the complete essence of what we have studied in last 3-4 paragraphs. And the Ati Mukhya Vishaya of the sixth Anuvaka. And the Brahma Prapti Sthanam or Paddhati. Tadeva Akashadi Karanam. So that Parabrahma, who is the Karana of the Akasha and all the other five bhutas, through that Annamayadi Koshas, that one karyam sruštva, having created the karyam which we said so far, now up to the vijnanamaya kosha tad anupravishtam iva, as if it has entered inside antah guhayam buddhau. So he has entered, and in the antah means vijnanamaya kosha guhame, he is there. Anta guhayam, that is buddhau. In what way he is available? Be careful. Listen. As drashtru, shrotru, mantru, vignatru iti evam visheshavad upalabhyate. So Bhagavan is available to us through these visheshas. Okay, it is the upalabdhisthana. That nirvishesha parabrahma is discovered as our own selves by taking the help of The Savishesha Brahma, that Savishesha Brahma is there only in Vijnanamaya Guha as Shrotru, Mantru, Vijnatru, Drashtru when he is using the eyes and ears and the mind and the buddhi upadhis. Therefore, upadhis are Jnanendriyas and Antakarana. Through the upadhi, what is known is outer world. The one who knows the outer world with the upadhis gets enchanted by them, tries to procure them, try to eke out happiness, sukha from them, tries to make them permanent, pakka 100% samsari. Instead of focusing on what is known and what is its beauty, how it can be procured and enjoyed, the one who focuses on who is the knower, he becomes spiritual. ज्ञेय वस्तु पे दृष्टि रखने वाला संसारी है. ऑल साइंटिस्ट्स डू दैट ओनली. ज्ञाता के ऊपर दृष्टि रखने वाला इज साधक. So when I is seeing the outer world, I is not seeing. Somebody behind is seeing. Who is that somebody? The Vijnanamaya Kosha Sthita Chidabhasa behind staying, Chit Swarupa behind staying, Sat Swarupa Brahma only. If we can learn the art of tracing back to that Brahman through every experience with every Indriya, then there is no moment where we are not seeing Paramatma. So when my eye sees colors and forms, when I am lost in the seen colors and forms, I am samsari. But through while the eye is seeing the outer world of colors, forms, through my intellection, my inquiry, when I go behind the eye to the mind, behind the mind to the Vijnanamaya Kosha, behind the Vijnanamaya Kosha into Buddhi Guha, in that Buddhi Gruha, the enlivened Aham Vritti with Chidabhasa, and behind that Chidabhasa, the Chidvastu, and the Chidvastu is eternally there, therefore it is Asti. If you can that way go, then every perception becomes a means for meditation, a means to recognize the Lord. And this way, and only this way, the Lord is discovered. And this way discovered Lord alone gives moksha. So here the discovery is what finally it is there as existence, and that is me. The main thing is that is me. So tad anupravishta iva antaguhayam buddhau drashtru shrotru mantru vignatru iti evam visheshavat upalabhyate. So in the buddhi guha, how the Parabrahma is available with visheshas. In what way? Shrotru, drashtru, mantru, vignatru. Is Parabrahma Shrota, Drashta, Manta, Vignata finally? No. But Upalabdhi Dwar ke roop mein, he is to be traced there. Then in the inquiry of who is this Drashtu, Shrotru and all, we'll come to know that Siddhavasa with Aham, that Ahamrat. Then even when that is inquired into, we come to know Shuddha Chit Swarupa. And that Chit alone is Sat, that Sat alone is me. So I alone, my Satchit Ananda Swarupa, at the Buddhi Guha, in the Aham Vrati, having reflecting the Chidavasa, playing the play of the Jiva by identifying with the Antakarana and Bahya Karana and seeing the outer world and trying to eke out Sukha Ityadi. Please, the other part of discussion, it was already done here and other Upanishads, that what about the entire world? Entire world is again the Rupanama of Paramatma only. The whole world which you see now is the Parabrahma only, the unmanifest Rupanama expressed as manifested. So that is understood. Therefore, one need not worry about outer world. Our purpose is to discover the inner self. So up to this what is said, Akashadi Karanam, that Brahma, Karyam Sruštva, having created, as if he has entered. Where Guhayam, which Buddhi. And there is Upalabhyamanaha. In what way? Drashtru, Shrotru, Mantru, Vijnatru. In that way is available. So trace to that drashta, manta, ityadi, then we are nearing to the Parabrahma. And is available only in this way in that Guha Vijnanamaya. Okay. Now the important point said is what he in this way the availability of Brahman through the source of through the Upalabdhi Paddhati of Drashta Srota Manta Vijnata is called as Paramatma's Pravesha. About this, you should be clear now. We have spent 3 4 days to discuss on this point. The all the points put up by the disciple Purvapakshi were refuted by the Lord, by Adi Shankara the Siddhanta. But still, what Shruti Mata said cannot be wrong. She said literally, Tadevanu Pravishatu. Then, what is the meaning of that Pravishatu? As available as Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata. Our availability of Brahman as Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata is entry of Brahman in the creation. And Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata is Upalabdhi Dwara. Not that is not Brahman. Brahman is that Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata is Chidavasa Jiva. Behind that Siddhavasa is consciousness. That is why it is said next to Sahaiva Tasya Praveshaha Tasmat. Tasmad. Therefore, Asti Tat Karanam Brahma. Therefore, definitely the Karanam of this Drashtu Shrotru Mantru Vijnatu Brahma Asti. Finally, we have to come to the conviction that Brahman is very much there. Because if you say he is not there, then we will never do the Purushartha. We become Apurushartha Sambandhi and we will never reach him. And to say that Brahman is not there, the evidences are more. Because if anything has to be there, it should come in Vyavahara, it should have Visheshas. So Vyavahara Rahitya, Vishesha Rahitya creates the doubt in the existence of Brahman. That is why the Bhashyakara, the Mantrakara have struggled to take us to Vijnanamaya Kosha and show देखो यहाँ श्रोता मनता विज्ञाता दृष्टा बन रहा है कि नहीं अनुभूति आ रहा है कि नहीं yes so that which is the present thing behind this because of which in this Vijnana Guha Drashtu Shrotru is happening that has to be there. Without that, then how can Drashta Shrota one can express as? So, that Tasmad Asti Tat Karanam Brahma. सो द दृष्टा श्रोता मनता जो विज्ञानमय में बनते हैं उसके कारण के रूप में ब्रह्म है ही फर्स्ट पॉइंट सेकंड अतः अस्तित्वात् एंड ही इज देयर एंड इज देयर हैज व्हाट अस्तिति एव उपलब्धव्यम तत् ही इज देयर ओनली एज योर एग्जिस्टेंस रिमेंबर कॉन्शियसनेस इज नॉट आवर फाइनल गोल existence is our final goal. But through the consciousness only we reach existence. Therefore, consciousness becomes Upalabdhi Dwara to discover the Paramatma who is existing. One that existing Paramatma is discovered, when we look back and see, he is found to be a substratum for both the consciousness as well as inertness. The Jada Chetana Sabka, एक ही परमात्मा एक ही शुद्ध सत्स्वरूप परमात्मा is a substratum that is recognized. Before that, the Jada things cannot be the source to recognize Brahman. They cannot be the Upalabdhisthana, only Chetana. And Chetana is expressing as Jnanam in us. Therefore, where the Jnanam is happening, called as Vijnanamaya Kosha, becomes thus the Upalabdhisthana for us to recognize the Parabrahma. So, how Parabrahma is there? Drashtu, Shrotru, Mantru, Vijnatru, Rupa. And how is Drashtu, Shrotru, Mantru, Vijnatru is happening? Because of Chidavasa. Because Chidavasa is the only one who knows through the Upadhi is the world. Chidavasa cannot be there without the Chit there. And Chit is there. Reverse karo, is alone expressing as Chit. Chit alone is expressing as Chidabhasa. And Chidabhasa Yukta Aham only expressing as Drashtru, Shrotru, Mantru, Vignatru. देखो दिस द्रष्टु श्रोत्रु मंत्रु विज्ञातृ के बाहर जाओ संसारी, भीतर जाओ तो द साधक. Therefore, in that heated inquiry of who is the seer in me, who is the knower in me, who is the doer in me, if we can go into those things, we will discover first Chidabhasa existence, then Chit existence, then the existence by itself. And that existence is me. That existence has to be discovered as me. Otherwise, I have to be non existent if I am somebody other than existence. But that is never my experience. My experience always is Aham Asmi, Aham Asmi, Aham Asmi. So, therefore, that Asti or existence and I have to be one. Is it not? And it is discovered to be existence, and I experience I exist. Existences cannot be two. Therefore, that pure existence alone is me. Therefore, I am that pure existence. I am that consciousness. I am that Chidabhasa Yukta Jiva. I am through the Upadhis Kartru, Bhoktru, Mantru, Vignatru. In that, the fourth one, the Kartru, Bhoktru, Mantru, Vignatru level, may we become samsari by doing the karma and getting the karma phala and becoming bhokta. That is the chakkar of samsara goes on for pralaya and mahapralaya as we saw yesterday. In our, again, Adhyatma Ramayana. The one who traces inside discovers himself to pure existence. That existence is all pervading. So I am as an existence, all pervading. In me, the consciousness, inertness is projected. The consciousness is becoming the jnata. The inert is becoming the jnaya. And between these two, the contact rupee, the cricket or the kabaddi is starting. That is called the entire world. World is nothing but the play between jnata and jnayam. Both have the substratum of Shuddha Satta, and that is me. This much, if we can abide in on the deep meditational level, then all the things which were projected, given the reality and given value, and then we ran behind them, then created all the commotions, everything just withers away. Like yesterday, Sri Ramji says, Ki tat kshanadeva mukti syat. And two times it is said. Kshanamatra sangena ramasya sa mukta babhuva dehadi tadatmyam tyaktva atmaswarupam gnatva vijnaya mukta sa babhuva sugrivaha api. So, रामायण भागवतम उपनिषद साथ 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 में देखने से some clarity, some more understanding, some more acceptability will come. This is how spiritual journey. Again, कल के क्लास में और थोड़ा knowingly some, unknowingly more inside the transformations happen. Finally, it is what Brahman is there as pure existence in my Vijnanamaya Guha. I have to identify with him, not with the upadhis as a jiva or samsara. Go inside and identify with the subtlemost self, which is a substratum for the self only to express at various levels. At various levels as what? Annamaya Jiva, Annamaya Atma, Pranamaya Atma, Manomaya Atma, Vijnanamaya Atma, Anandamaya Atma के रूप में that Brahma who is Sat Swarupa, he alone is expressed. These are all theory. Unless we actually travel, we can never experience. Experience only gives moksham, never theory. Therefore, don't blame the guru or anyone कि आप बता तो दिया अब कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा. अरे तुमको करना है तभी होएगा. You have to increase the hours of sitting for meditation. We have to reduce our outer activities and all. See, we have to become antarmukha more and more. We have to give up value to the gross more and more. We have to become subtle and all. अब ये सब किए बिना कौन कैसे गारंटी दे सकता है? So, to know all these details and to get convinced of them alone takes some lives. So, out of those lives, this is one life. In this life, through regular Upanishad study, little more conviction knowledge we are adding to ourselves. In this way, maybe 10 20 lives we have to listen to get full conviction and then start a journey. शायद या इसी जन्म में किसी ने किया हो तो वेरी गुड. You will reach only by the time others start. There's no others. I'm just for the sake of explanation. So, having so last point is very important. Asti iti eva upalabdhavyaha. Okay, and this is said in Katha Upanishad also. Asti tevopalabdhasya tattvabhavam prasidati. Asti rupena asti, the unqualified pure existence. That's how even in Satyam Jnanavantam Brahma, that Satyam, the Astitva alone is main aspect of Brahma. The Jnanam Anantam are added to remove all the doubts regarding the Jadata as well as the Antata. Because while explaining the Asti, there Satyam, the example of mud and pot is taken. That the mud is so much permeated in the pot and all. At that time, the disciple had a doubt. If that example you use here, then like the mud, then Brahman also must be Jada. Because in general, anything Jada is perishable. So therefore, the perishability happens to Brahma. Then you started studying Brahman as Asti and you concluded it as a Nasti because it is perishable. It doesn't go together. Therefore, he is explained as Jnapti Swarupa Jnanam. But the Jnanam again gets broken between Jnata Jnanam Gnayam. Therefore, is that type of Jnanam? No. Then what? Is a continuous homogeneous Jnanam in which Jnata Jnana Gneya Triputi may come and go. That continuous Jnapti Swarupa Jnanam is called as Anantam. But are there three things? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam? No. So one experience only Satyam. Expressed also as Jnanam and Anantam for inquiry's sake. But at the level of experiencing that truth, even these words also far off only. Because pada, artha, shabda, artha is not Brahman. Brahma is an anubhava gamya vastu only. It cannot be named as anything और लक्षण भी नहीं बोल सकते किसी का. बट बिना ऐसा कुछ बोले कोई आगे बढ़ेगा ही नहीं. Therefore, the nearest expression contrast to what we see in the world is Satyam Jnanam Anandam. So we see the Jagat continuously changing Asatyam. Therefore, with regard to that, Brahman is said to be Satyam. But otherwise, Brahma to nasatanna saduchyate. For both Sat and Asat is substratum, which we are going to see in our next para in our sixth Anuvaka very soon now. So too we see the Jadam. Therefore, contrast to that is said to be the Gnapti Swarupa Jnanam. We see the perishable limited. With regard to that, Brahman is said as Ananta. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam are the words employed for the Brahman to detach our attention from the Asat, Jadarupa, Santa, Jagat. So too, through these three words, we reach the substratum. In the substratum, none of these words or their meanings are valid. It is something inexplicable by any words. अब यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते कह दिया. Again, how can you define as सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम? Something has to be told, otherwise फिर कुछ बात बनेगा ही नहीं. Therefore, Shruti Mata said, is Satyam Jnanam Ananta. Okay. Now we have seen it is to be found as Asti, and that Asti is me. That me is called Aham Asmi. That's called Aham Brahma Asmi. That Brahma, which Brahma? Sad Brahma. That Sat alone, Chit. That Chit alone, Chidabhasa. That Chidabhasa alone, Drashtu, Srotru, Mantru, Vijnatru. Therefore, other than Brahma, there's nobody really as Drashta, Shrota, Manta in any of the individual as well as total. Considering some different separation is the ignorance, is the delusion. Why it has happened? Because of not doing this inquiry. When you do the inquiry, we'll come to know. One Brahma only is appearing as so many drashtas through so many of the eyes, whether of human or any other animals. He alone is becoming Shrota through so many ears. Whichever is a yoni, that sharira, that expression. One alone. One electricity alone is through all filaments, all the dynamos, as all the tubes when we see. Is it not one only? So too, even the jivas, manyness, multitude also, the Sankhyans they accept. Vedantin doesn't accept manyness of also jivas to be bound. One Paramatma only playing these roles. That's it. In you and in me, same Parabrahma is expressing. And this you me difference is not in Brahman, but not is in expression. Then where? In your and my acceptance. Who are you and I? An ignorant jiva. When this ignorant jiva inquires and gets the knowledge, this dissolves. Then what happens? I discover as the Brahma who is expressing through millions of upadhis. One of them is this also. This is how those subtle things start revealing to us when we become contemplative on these mantras. Now we will see the next one. Please remember Taittiriya and Mandukya are the two Upanishads to be studied again and again. Katha Mundaka are very easy, but because a thing is easy, it doesn't allow us to do the intellectual exercise of inquiry much. लेकिन बात इजीली समझ में आ गया मानो लाइक ए मैथमेटिक्स प्रॉब्लम इजीली दे दिया बच्चे को तो वो सॉल्व हो गया तो दिमाग शार्प नहीं होता द इंटेलेक्ट बिकम शार्प एंड सेटलर व्हेन द थिंग इज टफ and we have to make the intellect sharp so called as sukshma. So the Taitri and Mandukya help us more in making the buddhi atyanta sukshma and gambhira. So it should be studied, not that amma ho gaya re baba katham text chodo mat hoya nahi abhi we are only halfway through. Mandukya also we took 2 years, this also almost 1 year done for it. Maybe 5 days back. Today is 370th day. Let us go through. Now, having entered, see the next sentence. Now we are entering to our study. Tat sushtva tadevanu pravishat tak we have seen. Then the next one, tadanupravishya satchatyacha bhavatu niruktam cha nilayanam cha vijnanam cha satyam cha anrutam cha satyam abhavatu yadidam kincha tat satyam iti achakshate. These are the next sentences of that sixth Anuvaka we have to study with the Bhashyam. So first one is what? तत्सृष्ट्वा तदेव अनुप्रविशत हो गया तद अनुप्रविश्य हैविंग एंटर्ड किम सच्च त्यच्च अभवत निरुक्तम अनिरुक्तम अभवत निलयनम अनिलीनम अभवत विज्ञानं च अज्ञानं च अभवत सत्यं च अनृतं च अभवत सत्यम अभवत तत्सत्यमिति आचक्षते 7 sentences not at all difficult slowly when we go through bhashyam we will understand the meaning of these things what? That Brahman alone in this way, having entered, alone is appearing as the seeming two things in this world. That those two seeming things are being explained as Sat, Tyatu, Niruktam, Aniruktam, Nilayanam, Alilayam, Vijnanam, Avijnanam, Satyam, Anrutam. These 5 pairs. In the form of these 5 pairs, which are supporting the whole world, what is who is there is that Brahman only. What is that Sattu, Tyattu? Let us see that. Om Tat Karyam Anupravishya Kim Satchatyacha Bhavatu Niruktancha Niruktancha Nilayanancha Nilayanancha Vijnanancha Vijnanamcha satyam cha anrutam cha satyam abhavatu yadidam kincha tat satymitya chakshate. Then tadapyesha sloko bhavati. With that, this sixth Anuvaka concludes. So let us see these things, how much we can understand. So, satcha tyacha abhavatu. Sattu and tyattu. These are the two words. Sun lena. Satcha tyatcha abhavatu. That Brahman, having created the world, having entered it, he himself became as Sat and Tyat. So then again, Abhavat word, don't expect Bhagavan Shankara to detailedly explain. Abhavat is not becoming, Abhavat is appearing. Brahma never became anything, everything is appearing on him. This basic rule कभी भूलना मत वेदांत में. In Vedanta becoming नहीं होता, in Vedanta appearing होता है. Becoming is such one where you can't retrace back. Appearance is that when the appearance disappears, the original remains as it is. Like a cinema actor, when he is acting, is he acting there or appearing there? Is it not? He is changing himself totally. He is becoming that or appearing that when the actor is acting. He doesn't become. Become as a pagal ho jayega wo. Like in that movie, let us say he played the role of a don. He appeared as that, but outside he cannot be. If he says मैं don बन गया तो अंदर कर देंगे. Because don is supposed to go inside गुफा. Is it not? More loss if a चोर के action किया किसी movie में. So if he says कि I have become चोर, then you'll be caught. So that's why in all movies, in earlier days, they used to clearly write appearances. Is it not? It's only appearance. Therefore, he is able to appear in so many roles. Otherwise, एक role बन गया, so he cannot become other like that. But here, everything is appearance. So, abhavat means appearing only. So, first we see sattu and tyattu. Then niruktam, aniruktam, nilayanam, anilayanam, vijnanam, ajnanam, avijnanam, then satyam, anrutam. 5 pairs. The whole world is only these 5 pairs. What are they first? Ki sat cha. Sat means what? Murtam. Sat means that which has got form, conceivable form. Either sukshma rupa in the mind or sthula with the indriyas in the form of the world. So who became as the Sat, which is Murtam, that Parabrahma only, became means appearing. Sat, Murtam cha, then Tyat cha, Amurtam. The unmanifest or unformed also he only. The Amurtam always is cause. Murtam is effect. In that effect, generally there are two, gross and subtler. We take it as one only. Once it is told, once for all, it is told. So the Murtam, the form, the Sat is both Stula and Sukshma. So whether we say Stula or Sukshma or not, understand both. Because every time two words need not be used. So Murtam means Sat means Murtam, which is with form. Don't ask again, gross or subtler, both forms. So Sat is Murtam, Tyat cha Amurtam Abhavatu. Okay, again, what was said 2-3 paragraphs back, once more is reminding Bhagavan Bhashyakara ki Murta Murtehi. Murta, the effect or the seen or manifested. Amurta, the cause, the unmanifested. Murta Murtehi Avyakruta and Nama Rupe. The Avyakrita, the unmanifest, Nama Rupe, the manifest Rupa Nama, Atmaste. They are always inside the Atma. Antargatena Atmana Vyakriyete. Within the Atma, they are always there. Vyakriyete, they express outside. Be attentive. When they express outside, Antargata Atmana Vyakriyete, the Atma in them, उनको छोड़कर व्यक्त नहीं होते हैं. that Atma continues. So this is the biggest riddle of Vedanta to be sorted out and in our intellect's understanding and acceptance and faith. In the Parabrahma or the Atma, all the Murta, the effect, the manifesto, Amurta, the unmanifest, the cause, are always there. Point one. Second, when they express the Vyakta and Avyakta, they are not expressing leaving behind the Paramatma or Parabrahma. Paramatma, Parabrahma is fully permeated in them. Amurta mein bhi, the Murta mein bhi. That's what we gave yesterday example. The Amurta, the cause, the unmanifest is ocean. Murta, the effect, the manifest is the waves. Both of them, the cause and effect, have come from the third substratum called as water, which is neither Murta nor Amurta, nor the effect nor the cause. But it is, that's it. But inside the water only, the oceanness. Inside the water only, the waveness. They are eternally there as unmanifest. When they manifest, then they appear like this. Now, when the water manifested as ocean and wave, have they manifested without the water in them? No. So too, Sattu the Murtam, Tyatu the Amurtam, which were in unmanifest form in Parabrahma, when they get manifest, do they go beyond or away from this Brahma? No. This Brahma or Atma is very much carried by them, contained by them, permeating them. Them means Murta and Amurta. That is what he says. Murta Amurte अव्याकृत नाम रूपे आत्मस्थे. Okay, antargatena atmana vyakriyate. So when they come to vyakruta avastha of manifestation called as creation, the paramatma को carry करके ही आते हैं, वो छोड़कर नहीं आते. And the whole world is vyakruta and avyakruta. Vyakruta is manifestation in the gross and subtle form. Avyakruta is going into the causal form of unmanifestation. Both is unmanifest causal form Karana, the manifest Sukshma and Sthula Roop Karya, both are supported by Parambrahma. He is very much permeated in them. Without him, they cannot be. Now, how many times we have to listen this with calm and quiet mind? First of all, to understand the literal English meaning of those sentences. Then the deeper meaning of it, wherein we come to know this manifest unmanifest is just a play on Parabrahma, having no meaning at all to be given. Now, when you give meaning, you are a samsari. Giving value and meaning to the world is samsara. There is nothing to be valued or given. Everything is Paramatma. Okay, boss. The moment you give value to the objects, then you are caught up in tamoguna. When you give value to the perceptions or the kriyas, you are giving value to rajaguna. When you are giving value to the knowledge, then we are giving value to sattva-guna. Trigunatmika Maya. We just started this deep study. More and more when we listen to these things, picture starts becoming little more clear. इसलिए कहते हैं पूरा गंभीरता से वेदांत का अंडरस्टैंडिंग होने तक we should not leave this pursuit. Rather, we should beg, ask the Lord to give that chance ability to exclusively study this. If this prayer is intense, maybe next 2-3 लाइफ के बाद भगवान हमको ऐसे संस्था या आश्रम में भेजेंगे, वहाँ हम सिवाय वेदांत का सूक्ष्म रूप से अध्ययन के और कुछ नहीं करते. That prayer is there in us. That's why at least to the classes we are coming. But प्रारब्ध भी है, इसलिए we are lost in the other part of life also. But if we really recognize the value of the Brahman and recognizing of him, and if we really mean business, our prayer should be not again for both now, the samsara as well as sadhana, which prayer we extended earlier, Therefore, in this life, Bhagavan is giving us both. If we really ask exclusively, I must be somewhere where taught by the Guru, Sukshma Roop say I do my internal dhyana to discover that Satyam Jnana Anantam. Nothing other than that I want. If that prayer is intense, with that type of ability, in that atmosphere, under that Guru, to learn what is required, all that blessings Paramatma gives to the sadhaka. That's the meaning of Yogasya Kshemam Vahami. Yogakshemam has both meanings. At the gross level, obtaining of the things, protection of the already obtained things. At the subtle level, the protection of the yoga, the sadhana. Okay, Satchatyacha. Atmaste antargatena atmana vyakriyate means what? The Atma from where, from unmanifest to the manifest stage they came. While the manifestations happened of this Murta and Amurta called as Tyat and Atyat, Sat and Tyat, Paramatma is very much there in them. Like the unmanifest pot, when it got manifested from the mud, that pot is carrying the mud in it all through. It is not that mud, the pot unmanifest just got up from the mud and started independently manifesting as a pot without mud. ऐसा होता है क्या? That is why everything in the world is experienced as asti, asti, asti. Even the absence also experienced as asti only because na asti. Na means absence. Asti means existing. Is it not? Like an object is there. Is it there? Yeah, it is there. You see it. No, remove that object. Is that object is there? No. But even there, the existence is there to certify the absence of that thing. It is not there. It is. Is word तो यूज करना ही पड़ता है. हिंदी में भी वो वस्तु वहां नहीं है. हैपन है लेकिन वस्तु के रूप में नहीं है. Without है, sentence is incomplete. Whether it is said or not said, but it is understood. So it is carrying. So Sattu and Tyattu are the Murta and Amurta, whatever you see in this world. Amurta is cause, Murta is effect. At the total level, you may take it as Maya and its expressions. Individual level, you can take it as the gold is Amurta, ornaments are Murta. Examples कुछ भी ले लो. Every Satya and Tyat were unmanifest in the Brahman. Now they got manifested. When they got manifested, the Brahman or the Atman is very much in them. So, sentence is Murta Murtehi Avyakrita Nama Rupe Atmaste. And such things Antargatena Atmana Vyakriyate. When they come to express with their Antargata Atma intact in them. Now, Vyakrite Murta Murta Shabda Vyache. ते आत्मना तु अप्रविभक्त देश काले इति कृत्वा आत्मा ते अभवत इति उच्यते. See, the clarification is how sweet and complete. कि the व्याकृते means the expressed to मूर्ता मूर्त शब्द वाच्य, the sat and tet which are called as मूर्त and amurta, they आत्मना तु अप्रविभक्त देश काले means they are never ever separated from the Atma in any of the desha, in any of the kala. तो सब देशों में सब कालों में जहाँ भी अव्याकृत सत्य and tyat called as murta amurta became vyakrita or expressed in and through their expression, the Paramatma is very much in them. Atmana apravibhakta desha kale, they are never ever separate from him. परमात्मा के अलावा है ही नहीं. Therefore, इति कृत्वा, keeping this in mind, आत्मा ते अभवत इति उच्यते. That the self became that Tyatya and Satya. It word abhavat is used. The word used is what? Satchatyacha bhavatu. Niruktamcha niruktamcha abhavatu. Nilayanancha nilayanancha abhavatu. That's the word. Abhavat means ban gaya. That's what in the beginning, 15 minutes back, before this portion started, we discussed. ये बनना ही नहीं है, ये appear होना है. But because Paramatma is very much is there in it, अभवत करके शब्द यूज किया. So don't misunderstand the meaning of the word abhavat means becoming in such a manner that it has lost its own being. Like when you say the chair became plastic, became the chair. So what is the meaning of that? Though you use the word, plastic never became the chair, it appeared as chair. Because in the chair, in and through, the plastic is very much there. Anywhere you take the chair at any time. सो हर देश में हर काल में आत्मा से प्रविभक्त अलग हटकर नहीं है कोई भी सत्य और त्यत्व. Therefore, आत्मना एव अभवतु. Therefore, आत्मा ते अभवत इति उच्यते. Therefore, परमात्मा ही वो बन गया, ऐसा आपको शब्द यूज किया श्रुति माता ने. तो बन गया बात पढ़कर ऐसा मत सोचो कि द ब्रह्म बिकेम जगत, देयर इज नो ब्रह्मन फॉर अस टू अवेलेबल. No, the word may be abhavat. Abhavat has two meanings. बनना भी है, express होना भी है और appearing भी होना है. Okay, so he is very much permeating in all of them. Though the word is used abhavat, it means aprabhivakta deshakal. There is no satta or tyakta, murta and amurta, effect and a cause, not permeated by Parabrahma. That is the whole thing, no? Then if Parabrahma alone is there, how come these Rupanama, you are giving value importance to them through your Upadhis? No, Upadhi Rahita Bauddhika Jnanam we are giving now. From the Jnana Drushti, when you see, not the Upadhi Drushti, then you see only Brahman. So we are developing Jnana Drushti, not the Indriya Upadhi Drushti. Upadhi से देखोगे the world of names and forms, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa दिखेगा ही. But when this Jnana Drushti is given to us, that every Rupa Nama is necessarily permeated by the Brahman, which is finalized as Asti. With this Jnana Drushti, if you see, what is presented by Indriyas, that also is seen. What is understood behind all of them, the Brahman, that also is seen. दोनों को मिलाओगे तो Brahman only is Vyakrita in the Rupa Nama Rupa, without himself going through any change. That without himself going through any change is very essential thing in Vedanta, please. Otherwise, if the Brahma became Jagat, he is not available, so nobody can become Mukta, because become Samsari. Is it not? Like the gold became ornaments and fix ho gaya mano, then it is difficult for you to melt the gold and turn it to other ornaments or any other biscuits and all. Smuggling ही नहीं कर सकते. It appeared only as an ornament. Therefore only इसको melt करके और कुछ, in the old days बेड़े तगड़े तगड़े होते हैं ornaments because they used to carry. अभी क्या है, तो 3 बहुरानियां हो गए, अब एक ही है, उसको फिर पिघला के उसको 3 टुकड़े करके तीनों को दे देते हैं. अगर बेटी नहीं है तो बेटे है तो सब कुछ उसी को, बेटी को, बहू को कुछ नहीं. चित्र विचित्र. In the same way, if Brahman is not intact, then we will not realize him. Then we can never avoid samsara. But Shruti Mata never says so. And the recognizers of Brahma Tattva and get liberated saints, they very clearly say Brahman always is as it is. See, these are all vigorous exercises when you do for few janma, then it gives that subtle and clear understanding. One, the understanding becomes subtle and clear. It's a play after that. Because कौन सी चीज क्या है पता चल गया भाई. Everywhere it is so, no? When a painter knows all the intricacies of paint, after his 30 years of continuous experience and experiment, it's a play to him, no? छोटू घर बनाने वाले मिस्त्री लोग शुरू में तो इतना दिक्कत, बट व्हेन दे मेक सम 200-300 houses in 10 years, it is a play to him. So a singer, in the beginning कितना करना पड़ता है, but when he sang some 10,000 songs, it's a play. Is it not? In the same way, when we become very deep in our understanding through this vigorous and rigorous exercise, then the whole world, its appearance, substratum behind that, all is so crystal clearly known. It's only a play, then nothing binds us. But uttana sukshmata humko आना चाहिए. We have just started. But this can end if you don't continue, if you don't do repeatedly. In Vedanta, continuation and repetition are the only ways. Continuation makes us become subtler and subtler. Repetition makes us remember what we have studied. If these two are not there, continuation, repetition, then we forget. There's 1 week, stop coming to Upanishad class. You just don't know what's happening when you come again. It's an extra added struggle, is it not? So, for continuation, repetition, when you keep on doing, and why not? Take out time. Time can never be convenient. We have to make it. Like in the beginning, we said today, life is always tough outside and inside to all. In spite of that, we have to start finding time and giving. And luckily, Kana, that initial jerks, if you can conquer them, then the journey is smoother. Everywhere, like a very small house is given to you. Initial psychological jerks, में कैसे adjust हो जाओ रोने का. If you conquer that, then you feel settled in that house and you feel happy कि घर छोटा होने से अच्छा है, साफ सुथरा easy कर सकते हैं और unwanted things नहीं लाएंगे. You will start enjoying it also. Anything like coming to class Upanishad. Initial jerks, if you can conquer and come and sit, the next 40-50 minutes is smooth journey. भगवान एक कृपा देते हैं कि इनिशियल jerk if you conquer, then the thing can be smoother. So let us be in that way. Intensify our sadhana, give more time. Never say it is not possible and it cannot be made possible. And be having that fear कि without knowing the truth, if we die, we'll be a samsari. कहाँ भटकेंगे ये मौका भी मिलेगा कि नहीं पता. And also remember and feel guilty and regretted कि in these many lives and in this life also so many years, the due value importance we have not given to spirituality whose aim is to evolve us from bondage to liberation. Sharam karna hai kabhi kabhi. Out of that sharam also the inspiration can come. I wasted my time, my life, my all the beautiful abilities I misused. That's what Shankaracharya in the first sloka, Sannite kale samprapte dukrum karane nahi nahi rakshati. So satacha tyatacha we have seen. Okay. Then niruktam, aniruktam, nilayanam, anilayanam, these things we see tomorrow. Satatyat means all murta and amurta. Amurta is cause, amurta is effects. Whichever you talk them in this world. Final ultimate is Maya is the amurta, tyat, avyakta, and through the Maya, the Trigunatmika, entire Jagat is Sat or Murtam. ओके, बोथ द माया और माया कार्य दोनों उसी प्रभु के एक्सप्रेशन है. टोटलिटी में बताया और उसी को रिटेल में गोल्ड गोल्ड ऑर्नामेंट्स, वाटर, वेव्स, द डार्क क्लॉथ, द थ्रेड एंड द क्लॉथ, all that you can talk. Okay, now that water and the gold or the mud is not as much avyakruta as they are not seen at all through perceptions. There the avyakrutatva of the gold is the avyakrutatva of the ornaments in the gold. वो थोड़ा स्पेसिफिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग हमको होना चाहिए. अदरवाइज गोल्ड तो दिख रहा है ना, हाउ कैन यू कॉल इट एज अव्याकृत? दिख रहा है, उसमें ऑर्नामेंट दिख रहे हैं क्या? नहीं. फ्रॉम द ऑर्नामेंट स्टैंड पॉइंट इज कॉल्ड अव्याकृत. All ornaments are unmanifest in the gold. Then the ornaments get manifested. It's called a sattu. Sattu tyattu. Remaining we'll see tomorrow. Om, 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 Om. Let all the Aradhya Devatas, Upasya Devatas, Guru Parampara bless us with continuously repetition, consistency. Bless us with the sufficient power of listening, power of contemplation, power of understanding. Bless us with the retainment of the subtle understanding of the truth. May all of them bless us with the practice of what we have understood Finally, to discover that Sat Brahma as our own selves. May we intensify our prayers for this to our own Ishta Devatas from now onwards. We have Ishta Devata. We do the Upasana very superficially. And from him, what we ask so far is only the outer worldly things. Now, Upasana bhi intensify karna, Sankalpa Prarthana bhi intensify karna, and that Sankalpa Prarthana is for the internal unfoldment, not for the external unfoldment. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramashibhyo Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Till we conclude this text, as many days as it takes, be with me, with both of us, try our best to understand through the Bhashyam what Shruti Mata wants to guide. Receive it as blessings and opportunity, then you will not have any other doubts or other thoughts to discontinue or give up or become irregular in the classes. Being regular itself is another upasana, which will be again noted and given good marks by the Lord. 2 minutes, join back for Yoga Darshanam.